Damn, it's your brother's first birthday. I ain't sure though. Mama. I made.
That was Big X's final message to his family before he got taken in and hit with a heavy sentence. He was stopped with some marijuana and a restricted item in his car, but people say his connection to a street crew is what really locked things in. Here's the rundown. Big X.
Anything you want your fans to know on this important day? No comment.
Away. I hope you're happy out now. I hope you're happy out now.
Anything you want to say with this arrest and regarding your previous one?
I hope you're happy out now. New country out now.
What do you say to the fans that didn't get to catch you last night?
We're gonna run it back. I hope you're happy out now.
Are you gonna do anything tonight for your album?
The Plug's last words, and the moment everything flipped. The whole rap scene buzzed when Big X got picked up on August 21st, 2025 in Dallas on the exact day he was supposed to celebrate the biggest win of his career. His country rap crossover album was dropping, and instead of enjoying it, everything crashed fast. Imagine this, 2 release parties set, one at Cash Cow nightclub in Deep Ellum and another at Wingstop. Fans pulling up, waiting for him to walk in with that superstar glow. But instead of stepping on stage, he ended up getting processed at Dallas County Jail. The timing was unreal.
See the PC affidavits, but we're going to work vigorously for our client because it just is what it is. It's 2 misdemeanors, and people are trying to make it.
He was flagged in the system for street crew ties, and the charges came with a $5,000 bond, $2,500 for each misdemeanor. But Big X didn't stress it. He walked out the next day around 4 p.m. and spoke openly to the media like it was nothing. Here's where things get real. His attorney, Valerie Bain, stood in front of the cameras saying his team was ready to handle everything, showing just how steady Big X stayed through the chaos. His people knew these weren't life-shaking charges, just another setback on a long road. But this August situation wasn't even his first run-in of 2025.
It's your brother's first birthday. I ain't sure though. Mama. I made it. I was here. You hear me, Mama? Bird. Look. Look at you, Daddy. Look at you, Daddy. Hey. Happy birthday. Daddy love you. Daddy love you more than anybody love you. Yeah. You miss me from this. What you miss me from this?
Back in February, officers stopped him in Arlington for expired registration tags around midnight on North Collins Street. After noticing a strong smell, they checked the car and found a small amount of marijuana along with an item he wasn't supposed to have. He was booked with a $500 bail and walked out by February 27th. And then came the moment that hit everyone's heart.
It's really interesting having a child with autism because it almost seems like it's more of a complex relationship.
So they're actually the smartest kids in the world.
On February 28th, a video dropped showing Big X holding his daughter at her first birthday party. Fresh out and smiling hard. You could see pure relief and joy in his face. The Shade Room posted it, pointing out how he made it just in time for his daughter's big milestone. This moment hit hard because Big X had been open about the hurt he carried from missing big moments with his kids due to his legal problems. He once shared how he missed his son's first birthday while he was away, and how that memory stayed with him.
At the time, she like, oh, you finna be 18. Let's go get your license. Let's go to San Antonio and get your license. I go, boom, get my license, and the constable come out the back room and tell me I got a warrant for aggravated robbery.
And so the cop.
So when fans saw he made it to his daughter's first birthday, right after the February situation, it felt like he was truly trying to change his path. But the promise he made is what really shifted everything. Big X has a 6-year-old son named Damar, diagnosed with autism at age 4, and he's talked with real emotion about how that news affected him, especially when Damar went from being talkative to struggling with speech. He always says kids like his son are some of the smartest in the world. He threw himself into learning, appointments, research, everything, to be the dad his son needed. In a New York Times interview, he broke down explaining the promise he made. You'll never not see me a day in your life.
Man, I was at that time, I was like 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was in the grove with my mom till like 9. That's where I seen the worst parts at, you know what I'm saying?
But with touring and his legal messes, keeping that promise was hard, and the guilt stayed heavy on him. He admitted the whole situation weighed on him, saying he started his grind for his son, and that pressure was real. What made it even more powerful was his work with the Autism Society of America, where he recorded a PSA calling autism a journey that's not easy, while urging families not to make that journey tougher than it already is. He shared how watching Damar simply be himself is his favorite thing, and how his son taught him patience, real love, and how to celebrate small wins.
Like show up outside, or she just fills you in and tells you?
Nah, like as soon as I do this little thumbprint that
The streets kept showing Big X support through all the chaos. When news of the August arrest dropped, social media split fast, some shouting "Free Big X," calling him one of the realest, while others argued about Texas laws. One person wrote, "Getting in trouble for weed in 2025 is why you need to get out and vote," while another said the system always targets rappers over restricted items and small amounts of substances. His album, I Hope You're Happy, still released on August 22nd with features from Jelly Roll, Luke Combs, SHA Booze, and other country names. The timing felt surreal.
at the what is it, the DPS?
Sure. Yeah.
And boom.
A project about hope dropping right as his legal issues shook up his release plans. When asked about rescheduling the canceled Wingstop event, he simply said yes, showing he wasn't letting legal trouble block him from his supporters. His shift from a younger man hustling in risky circles to a father celebrating his daughter's birthday right after walking free showed real growth and maturity. That February Instagram clip wasn't just a party moment, it was proof he was fighting to keep his promise to stay present for his kids no matter what life threw at him. That promise to his son Damar is the engine behind everything Big X pushes for now, even when the system keeps putting obstacles in his path. What really hits is how he talks about balancing the grind with being a steady dad. In that emotional New York Times interview, he admitted touring pulls him away from Damar, especially tough since his son needs routine and consistency. He carries real guilt trying to chase success while being the stable parent he never had. His openness with officers during both stops, straight up telling them about items in the car, showed he was trying to move differently than he did when he was younger. But because his name was still flagged in that street crew database, the system treated him like he was stuck in his past, proving how old mistakes can follow you even when you're trying to do right. But the fan reaction showed something powerful. Instead of just posting "Free Big X," people began sharing their own stories about autism, thanking him for using his platform to bring more visibility to families dealing with the same challenges. Parents jumped into the comments saying his honesty about Damar meant more than any song. That's real impact beyond music. Now let's get into Big X, the plug's street life confessions and the rough past he had to climb out of. His story isn't clean, but it explains the depth of the man he became. Xavier Landum grew up in Pleasant Grove, Dallas, where life showed him hard lessons early, and survival was something you learned young. When he was around 4 or 5, he saw his mom defend their home during an attempted break-in, an intense moment that hits a kid's mind fast. He later opened up about how his mother was both his best friend and a tough protector who put him on to UGK and the Isley Brothers, while his father, more strict and structured, introduced him to artists like Drake and Lil Wayne. Having musical influences didn't equal stability, and Big X learned that early. School wasn't clicking for him. He was skipping classes, getting into conflicts, and showing fast that the traditional path wasn't built for him. The streets were pulling at him. And when you grow up where options are limited and survival feels like the only mission, you start making choices that feel necessary in the moment. After high school, life got desperate, and Big X admitted he started taking from local dealers just to get by. He didn't sugarcoat it. This wasn't some side job. This was full-on survival for a young man trying to feed himself and handle responsibilities. But taking from people in that world is one of the riskiest paths you can walk, and things caught up to him before he even turned 18. He got arrested on burglary and aggravated robbery charges, heavy situations that landed him locked up during major moments of his early life. And it wasn't just about being in trouble. It was about the milestones he lost forever. The part that hit him the hardest, missing his son Damar's first birthday while he was inside. Imagine your child reaching that huge moment, turning 1, stepping into toddler life. and you can't be there because the choices you made pulled you into a place you never wanted to be. That kind of hurt reshapes a person for life. But even before that major wake-up call, Big X had another road that could have changed everything. He had real football dreams and went to Crown College in Minnesota trying to build a legit future through sports. But things flipped fast. He got expelled for smoking marijuana, and just like that, his clean shot at success vanished, taking that whole football dream with it. Once that door closed, desperation sat heavy on him. Big X has been straightforward about that period, saying he did what he felt he had to do after his son was born. He wasn't trying to dodge responsibility. He was explaining the reality. When you're broke, young, and have a baby to feed with no steady income, the streets start looking like the only path left. Things escalated, and in a 2023 Spin interview, Big X admitted he was taking from people already involved in illegal activity just to support his infant son. He showed deep remorse, saying, "I've done a lot of stuff to people in my past. I pray that God forgives me now, but I did what I had to do to survive." That's raw honesty, recognizing the wrong while explaining the pressure behind those choices. What makes it even more real is how he talked about the fear that still follows him. Big X said his visibility as a rapper puts him at risk because everybody knows who and where I am, and anyone from his past could show up since the streets don't forget. And the legal trouble didn't end with his early cases. In 2022, he was arrested again for having marijuana and restricted items in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That time, he ended up isolated from others, and that quiet space became a turning point. He started writing music that eventually helped shape his debut album, Amar, during that 2022 situation. He spent that time in isolation writing non-stop, turning his pain and memories into music that later helped launch his career. The tracks he built during that dark stretch became the backbone of Amar, which ended up debuting at number 4 on Billboard's Heat Seekers chart. But here's the real root of why he ended up in the streets, growing up without steady fatherly guidance. Big X has admitted that not having a consistent father figure shaped many of his early decisions. He talked about losing friends to street crews and seeing family members cycle in and out of prison, creating a pattern that felt impossible to break. That same street connection shows up in his legal cases. Even though he rarely speaks on it directly, law enforcement records had him tagged for past affiliations, and that tag affected recent arrests, turning situations that might have been minor into heavier misdemeanor cases, especially when restricted items were involved. What's wild is how all of this molded his sound and authenticity. His music comes straight from lived experience, Southern trap with the grit of Dallas life woven into every verse. His background explains why he's so dedicated to being present for his kids now. He's determined to break the cycle he grew up in, using his platform to show responsibility and give his children a path far different from the one that once pushed him toward risky choices and serious trouble. And here's the part that shows real growth. Big X never tries to glamorize his past. He speaks on it with honest regret, fully aware those decisions could have taken everything from him. The fact that he turned those experiences into motivation for his music instead of slipping back into unsafe situations shows how fatherhood changed him in a big way. The street life that almost pulled him under ended up becoming the foundation of his comeback, but only because he learned from those mistakes and turned that old pain into something meaningful. Every time he gets tied up in new minor issues, it reminds people how far he's come from those early years when he was taking from dealers just to survive. That early shock of seeing his mother defend their home when he was barely in school shaped his whole outlook moving forward. What's wild is how Big X later explained the mindset that pushed him to target people already involved in illegal activity instead of random folks. He thought they'd be less likely to call authorities. It was a calculated risk, but a dangerous one, since those people had their own circles and ways of striking back, putting him in situations that could have ended everything before his music even began. The stretch between his fallen football dream and his rise in music was the darkest chapter of his life. After Crown College expelled him for marijuana use, he headed back to Dallas with no plan, no career prospects, and a baby on the way. That mix of lost dreams, money stress, and no legit skills pushed him toward choices that kept getting riskier. The 2022 arrest that left him isolated from others wasn't just another setback. It was rock bottom. spending holidays like Thanksgiving alone, missing precious time with little Damar, forced him to face the truth that his decisions were tearing apart the very family he wanted to protect. That's when the shift from street life to artistry truly began. Now let's get into how Big X flipped all that street pain into straight musical gold, because watching this glow up has been wild. After getting out from his pre-2022 situation, Big X officially started chasing music in 2019. But it wasn't until the early 2020s that the rap world really started noticing what this Dallas native was building. His real breakthrough came with Texas, and when that track hit, it didn't just buzz, it blew up everywhere. It ran up more than 200 million streams and climbed to number 65 on the Billboard Hot 100, stamping Big X as a serious force in Southern trap. TikTok boosted it even more, sending his raw storytelling style to millions who instantly connected with his authentic Dallas sound. But Texas was only the start. His debut mixtape, Back from the Shadows, dropped in 2020 with tracks like Red Bottoms and Moolah, showing how he could mix street-level truth with catchy hooks. That project reflected his climb out of the rough situations that once trapped him, turning those dark experiences into music that resonated with listeners who knew real struggle. Then came the true game changer, his 2023 debut album, Amar, named after his autistic son. And this wasn't just another rap project, it was personal, purposeful, and the moment Big X proved he was more than a street survivor, he was an artist with something real to say. This project was basically a father's love letter to his child, wrapped in Southern trap production and delivered with the kind of honesty that only comes from real life. The album debuted at number 4 on Billboard's Heat Seekers chart, proving Big X had stepped beyond being just a street storyteller and had grown into a full artist with real commercial pull. After Amar showed he wasn't a one-hit wonder, the collaboration started rolling in. Big X teamed up with names like Offset and NLE Choppa, bringing that Dallas flavor to a wider crowd and proving his sound reached far beyond Texas. These weren't just features, this was respected artists giving him a nod, recognizing his skill and authenticity. Then in October 2024, Take Care dropped and showed the entire rap scene that Big X wasn't going anywhere. The album debuted at number 8 on the Billboard 200 with 25,000 album equivalent units in its first week, numbers that put him right next to established stars. Tracks like which hit number 65 on the Hot 100, and Therapy Session became fan favorites, cementing his place in the hip-hop landscape. And the touring proved his pull even more. His Take Care tour featured a packed, sold-out show at NUO in Seattle, where fans filled the venue to hear joints like 2 a.m. and Therapy Session live. The energy was electric, with openers Road Dollar, Ama, and Young Hood hyping the crowd, before Big X hit the stage with a performance that had the whole place lit. At that Seattle show on December 8, 2024, Big X proved he wasn't tolerating disrespect. A fan started heckling and threw water toward the stage, and Big X stepped off with his crew to address the situation directly. Things got tense, and footage later showed the fan looking roughed up, but officials didn't report any arrests. Big X went right back to performing afterward, keeping the show moving like a pro. In 2025, XXL Magazine named Big X one of their best new artists, a major moment, showing the hip-hop world officially recognized his influence. This wasn't just about numbers, it was about respect, artistry, and cultural weight. Signing with United Masters and partnering with Virgin Music gave Big X something most artists never get: real creative control. That independence let him keep his authentic voice while building a long-term business foundation as his fan base grew from local supporters to a national movement. Festivals pushed his reach even further. His Bonnaroo 2024 performance introduced him to crowds outside the usual hip-hop scene, while his upcoming slots on the 2025 Dusky Circuit Tour proved he was still in high demand for major stages. But his boldest step came in August 2025 with I Hope You're Happy, a project that showed he was ready to elevate again, both musically and personally. Big X's country rap crossover album featured Jelly Roll, Luke Combs, Shazi, Darius Rucker, Thomas Rhett, and Ella Langley, showing he wasn't afraid to jump into lanes most rappers never touch. This wasn't random genre mixing. This was Big X proving his range and taking bold creative risks. The New York Times even praised the project, noting how he described it as his heart and story, blending urban and country elements in a way that felt natural and real. Tracks like Hear Voices with Lil Wayne and Daba showed he could stand beside rap legends while exploring fresh sounds. And even with the arrest drama swirling around him, the digital release still dropped on August 22nd, 2025, showing his team stayed ready to keep the music moving no matter what. By 2025, Big X had over 14 million monthly Spotify listeners, placing him in elite territory among modern rappers. His ability to mix hip-hop with country vibes opened doors to new audiences while still keeping loyalty from his core fans. His autism awareness work, inspired by his son Damar, added depth to his public image, showing supporters that fame hadn't pulled him away from his responsibilities as a father. What makes his rise even more impressive is how he managed success while juggling recurring legal issues. The February and August 2025 situations could have slowed down other artists, but Big X kept dropping music, touring, and expanding his brand. His upcoming collaborations with Post Malone and Morgan Wallen for a full country EP proved the crossover wave from I Hope You're Happy opened doors most rappers never even get to see. The transformation is wild. Going from taking risks in Dallas to working with country superstars is one of the most striking redemption arcs in recent hip-hop history. From writing songs alone in a cell to headlining packed shows. From missing his son's first birthday to celebrating his daughter's first one right after walking free. Big X's journey feels like a modern American dream told through southern trap rhythms and country guitar riffs. Big X turned his lowest moments into his biggest wins, and the entire rap world has been paying attention ever since. His business moves tell an even more impressive story, showing he wasn't just thinking like an artist, but like a strategist. His partnership with United Masters wasn't only about getting his music out, it was about keeping ownership of his masters and building long-term wealth, something many artists lose when they sign traditional deals. That independence also let him slide into country music without label pressure, proving how confident he was in his vision. His numbers speak loud. With over 14 million monthly listeners and Texas hitting 200 million streams, Big X showed that raw, honest storytelling could stand shoulder to shoulder with heavily manufactured hits. His social media growth came from real engagement, not paid gimmicks, giving him a loyal fan base that stuck with him through legal drama and genre jumps. And here's the wild part. His August 2025 arrest actually boosted his visibility. Instead of hurting him, the timing brought major media attention from outlets like TMZ and the New York Times, turning a negative moment into global coverage. That ability to flip setbacks into momentum shows the media instincts that separate stars from artists who never break through. His country crossover wasn't just a creative risk, it was a strategic expansion into markets most rappers can't reach. Working with names like Luke Combs and Jelly Roll opened doors to country radio, festival circuits, and new audiences that rarely embrace hip-hop, proving he was thinking about generational wealth, not just quick fame. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll catch you on the next one.